people being paranoid. I said, I'm not so much afraid of you. I just feel like people will look at me and say, well, you know, but I'm not contagious.
No. I only ever liked wearing the mask because it made other people feel comfortable.
Well, that's how I am, yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
then if they don't have, right, and if they don't have any objection to it, then I think we should proclaim these allowed to proceed by phone, to add them to the minutes.
They were supposed to call today or tomorrow for the injection, so, but I'll have to go up.
Call and leave them sick if you want.
Cause next week I gotta have my stent changed out. Everything at one time.
We'll call the meeting to order. Say the pledge of allegiance, and then I think you are down.
Well, yeah, do the roll call,
Yeah,
and then.
read his request.
the pledge of allegiance, and then, yeah, and then Amy can read his request.
And then you vote on it.
And then, we can request whether there's any objection to them attending by phone. Only if there's an objection, a motion and a second to not allow them to, do we have to take a roll call. So I think we should just declare them, if nobody objects, to have them attend by phone. Since there's no objection, Tom is allowed to attend by phone. And then you add them to the meeting minutes at that point, and you put something in there, okay?
How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm good. Busy.
Yeah,
Busy.
tell me about
Are we
it.
giving you enough work to do yet?
Tell me about it, buddy. I've been keeping up. Between you and I have a live tomorrow night, we'll have the
Hello.
same issues.
Okay, I can hear you. All right, we're getting ready to go live in about 2 minutes. We're just gonna leave you sit there.
Okay.
Okay.
We're live.
Yeah, I think we are. I have 7-2 down.
Yeah.
Can you confirm which one, before or after the Pledge of Allegiance? After roll call?
Yeah, do it the way you normally do, Don.
I'm ready.
Are you there on your phone?
Hmm?
Are we at 7?
Yeah, we're at 7.
Call the Oglesby City Council meeting to order.
Augubright is absent. Cullinan?
Here.
Curran?
Here.
Rivara?
Aye. Secretary, clerk, do we have a quorum?
You do.
We do. We have a request from Commissioner Augubright to remotely call in for the meeting, which we have him on here. If there's no objections, we'll go ahead with.
Anybody have an objection?
No, sir.
If not, under the city's ordinance, he will be allowed to attend by phone.
Okay. Commissioner Augubright, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
So you're on phone.
Pledge down,
We're ready.
pledge of allegiance.
Do I,
Now we just go on with the pledge.
do I need I don't need a motion?
You don't, no.
Okay. Very good. Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this time, I'm going to move number 17, the nomination and appointment of a Commissioner of Public Health and Safety. Do I have a nomination?
Do you want me to make a motion that we do it out of order? Do I need to do that first, do it out of order?
No, you don't.
Okay. I just wanted to make a quick comment. I just wanted to say, we really did appreciate all the great applicants that put their names in the hat. We had 10 applicants, and it was great to have so many good candidates. It was also nice to see so many that when it came to serving their community, the list was filled with either people that had, with past experience, people currently serving their community, or just people eager to get into a capacity where they can serve more. I hope that we get to see some of those names on the ballot in the upcoming years. We need the eagerness and dedication to serve the community for us to thrive. Of the name that we came to agreement upon, we thought they had some of the best qualifications with over 25 years as a paramedic and firefighter, and is currently serving as the Chief Deputy Coroner of LaSalle County. His knowledge of firefighting operations, emergency medical services, first responders, dispatching, investigations, and health department operations throughout the county make him an excellent selection as a Health and Safety Commissioner. If no one else has any further questions or comments, I can make a motion.
Make the motion, sir.
All right. I'd like to make a motion to appoint Terry Udis as Health and Safety Commissioner for the City of Oglesby, Illinois.
Second.
Second.
Augubright.
Aye.
Cullinan.
Aye.
Curran.
Aye.
Rivera.
Aye. I need a, you want to swear him in now?
Might as well.
Terry, would you
Chair?
come up here?
Bud,
Oh,
Paul did
sorry,
it.
this one,
Yeah,
yep.
there you go.
Yep.
You need to
Attorney
raise your
Barrow.
right hand, Terry, and repeat after me, please. I,
I,
Terry Titus,
Terry Udis,
Terry, having been appointed to the office of Commissioner in and for the City of Oglesby and the State of Illinois, having been appointed to the office of Commissioner,
having been appointed to the office of Commissioner
in and for the City of Oglesby and State of Illinois,
in and for the City of Oglesby and State of Illinois,
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution,
of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of Commissioner
of the office of Commissioner
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations. Terry, you need to sign this, buddy. Sorry about your name, Terry.
Oh, no worries.
Ours are similar but different.
Next on the agenda, approve the minutes of the February 22nd, 2022 regular meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the February 22nd, 2022 regular meeting.
Need a second?
Second.
Augubright. Hello. Tommy.
Aye.
Okay, sorry.
That's a heck of a delay.
Cullinan.
Aye.
Curran.
Aye.
Udis.
Abstain.
Rivera.
Aye. Public comments on agenda items only. Having none, we'll move on. I need a motion and second to approve bills as presented for payment.
I'll make a motion
I
to,
will make-
go ahead,
Aye,
Tommy. sir.
Jason.
No, I got your Tommy. Go ahead.
All right, I will make a motion to approve the bills as presented for payment.
Second.
Augubright.
Aye.
Cullinan.
Aye.
Curran.
Aye.
Udis.
Abstain.
Rivera.
Aye. Next on the agenda is the presentation from Surf Air Wireless LLC.
I will do the projection here. Mayor, Amy, if you'd like to move, Patrick, you might want to, it's easier to see it. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Mayor. My name is Cesar Brada. I'm with Surf Air Wireless, also known as Surf Broadband Solutions. I'm here tonight to speak to you about bringing our fiber internet service to the city of Oglesby. And I'm going to go through this fast. I have a lot of slides, Anyone has any questions, please interrupt me on the slides, and you can, ask questions. Basically, official name of our company is Surf Air Wireless. We've been in existence for quite a while. We're a provider of internet service for Northern Illinois, Northern Indiana, and Southwest Michigan. We rebranded the company back in 2019 to Surf Broadband Solutions. That's sort of our street name, as we moved a lot of our service delivery into fiber. And we're interested in partnering with the city of Oglesby to bring fiber to the residents. Our footprint here surrounds the lower part of the lake. All of the green dots are actually wireless broadcast locations. We have about 500 locations where we broadcast. The orange is fiber that we own, that we put in the ground. And there's a lot more, it's just that it's, at this scale, you can't see it. And the blue is fiber that we actually partner with and lease to provide service. Our history, we've been doing internet services since 1999, that was back in the dial-up days. Solutions since then have been both in fixed wireless broadcast and in fiber. Historically, fiber has always been used for commercial, hospitals, schools, and things like that, because that's where the high bandwidth demand has been. But we realized in 2018 our fixed wireless solutions, which was focused on the rural areas, could not keep up with the bandwidth demand. So we started moving into fiber for residential. For commercial, we have over 350 commercial customers on fiber. Lots of them have multiple locations. We provide fiber service to 84 school districts across 4 states, and it totals about 400 locations. Excuse me. We own about 425 miles of fiber, and we lease over 1,000 miles of fiber in the area. Residentially, we've completed about 150 fiber to home projects per date, and we consider a project basically where we will light up a neighborhood, approximately let's say 50 to 250 homes. We'll do all the construction, light it up, and turn it on and provide service. We have approximately 150 projects under construction right now. We plan to start 10 new projects every month in 21 and 22. We're currently partnering with about a little over 25 communities right now and making them gigabit communities. So what is fiber? So I brought a piece of fiber. Figure most people haven't seen this. So this is basically backbone fiber. This bundle here can carry up to 96 fibers, and there is mini bundles in here, and there's 12 fibers per bundle. And this is now, I cut it back, and here's the fiber. And this is actually still, this fiber still has a coating on it. So the actual strand of fiber is smaller than a human hair. Okay, and I'll pass it around so everybody can see it. Basically, that piece of cable there is an armor cable. So we actually have a piece of metal armor around it that actually protects the fiber. Fiber can coil real nicely, but you can't bend it like you can copper. Let me walk through some issues with fiber. The reason why we went to fiber for residential services is that we've seen the internet usage especially for video, increase tremendously since 2010. So if you think about, what you use when you actually do video or email, it's really not that much per device. If you're doing email, 1 meg is about all you need. If you're watching video on your phone, you only need really 3 meg, because that's standard def. You watch a movie on your big screen TV, you need about 6 megs, and that's continually. Where we see the problem coming is all the multiple devices in a home that is on video, and also the future of 4K. Won't be too long that you won't be able to buy a high-def TV, they'll all be 4K. To see 4K content, you need 24 megs of internet to run that. You start thinking about if you had 4 TVs in your house with 4 people and everybody was trying to watch their own movie, you're gonna need 100 meg in your house just to watch TV. Average home today that we're seeing, it needs about 20 to 30 megs, and that's basically running the media players, the computers, the phones, smart TVs, and things like that. And where we see this going is basically tomorrow it's gonna be in the 50 to 200 megs. And that's largely pushed by all of the Internet of Things. You guys might have heard of IoT, that's Internet of Things. That's smart doorbells, smart garage door openers, cameras, and then all the 4K TVs all over the home. And think about an average family of 2 adults and 2 kids. Everyone is carrying probably anywhere from 3 to 5 individual devices on the internet. And the kids are on their phone while they're on their laptop and on their TV all at the same time pulling internet streams. So that's where the demand is coming from. So most of the cities are covered by cable, and cable has been fine. It'll typically meet the download speeds that people need, but right now it's not meeting the upload speeds. And everybody knows that with COVID, with all of the home video conferencing, you might have had trouble actually doing conferencing. Fiber is just plain faster. It'll basically allow you to do symmetrical, meaning the same speed in both directions. You can have a 100 meg download and a 100 meg upload at the same time, and the upload and download don't affect each other. To give you a little more insight into that, fiber is basically glass, and we actually use a laser to actually shoot light down the glass, and we can actually code it to send information. They can achieve extremely high speeds. Basically, we'll light the town up and offer a gig of service to everyone, but we can easily bump that up to 10 gig, 100 gig in the future. So fiber can expand, and at the moment, there's no known end of what speed we can get on fiber. Give you a comparison, way down there in the right-hand corner, that's a pipe diagram here of dial-up. You can see the size of dial-up compared to DSL when it came out. DSL was about 10 times bigger. Fixed wireless came out about 10 times bigger than DSL. Cable came out about 10 times bigger than fixed wireless. And you can see fiber just dwarfs everything else. And that's just basically today's use of it. It'll keep getting bigger. The internet network that we install, basically we'll run a fiber backbone like this cable I passed around in the neighborhoods. If we're going underground with that construction, we'll be actually putting handholds at every other house. And basically we'll have a fiber in that backbone dedicated per house or business for each location. So that handhole allows us to actually strip out and grab a single fiber for that residence. If we're going aerial, the backbone access is on the poles, and we'll basically then come down that pole, go underground to the house, or run from the pole aerial to the house. Some installations could require us coming out and boring under hard surfaces such as driveways. Typical construction underground looks like this. We'll place a head end someplace in town. That head end is where we bring in our big pipe supply. We'll bring in anywhere from 2 gig to 10 gig depending on the size of the area. And we can actually always expand that higher. We'll run an orange cable underground, and in that cable or conduit, we'll actually put a backbone fiber. You can see item number 3 there is basically that handhold between the 2 houses, and from that we can feed 2 houses and give each house its own fiber. Benefits of fiber, it really can increase your home value. Right now there's a demand by a lot of people that are looking for high-speed internet, they're looking to move, they're going to look to go someplace where there's fiber, and basically you can see an increase in your home value. Our proposal is basically we'd like to roll out our fiber to the home network in Oglesby, provide service. We're already doing that in multiple towns, Illinois, Indiana, and Michigan. This would make Oglesby a gig city. Partnership, we're looking for partners with our fiber service. We've been doing internet for a long time, and most of the time we run into problems where people don't understand the need for internet in the past, and they're not that cooperative in getting the job done. So we've been looking for partners. I've had a lot of conversations with Jason, and we believe we can partner with Oglesby, and it'll be benefit for both of us. We think communities without fiber will basically lose out in the future. And we think high-speed internet for everyone will be a big benefit here for residents and business. Our proposal is we'll build a fiber network to all addresses. We will fund the entire build-out. We're not looking for any money from the city whatsoever. We'll provide competitively priced options versus the competition in town, and I'll go more into our pricing. And we'll provide service options for the city sites in case they need fiber at those sites for the future. Proposal, basically we're requesting the city to basically set up a streamlined permit process. Our plan is to do a master design, run that by the city, have the city review it, make sure everything looks good in the master design, and then we'd like to actually be able to have a fairly fast-track permit process so we can actually schedule and have crews actually move right along and get the job done. We like to do collaboration on construction projects. If there's a new neighborhood open up or a new business that's gonna build outside of on the outskirts of town, we like to collaborate on that. If the city's bringing out water and sewer to that location, we like to be able at the same time run fiber underground in relatively the same time. And then also assist in joint marketing activities. We're not asking basically to Ignore the cable company in town, but also, advertise us as also another internet provider. Our construction, we'll divide the city up in logical phases, and phases are gonna be what's logical based on railroads, crossings, busy streets, where we might do aerial, where we might do underground. Some phases, again, will be aerial and underground. For underground, we'll be going through utility easements. For aerial, would be on the poles that we work out. Each phase, as we construct the phase and get it done, we'll light that phase. We won't wait to get the entire town done. And then residents aren't required to take the service, they can individually request it at any time. The benefit to the city, you advertise as a gigabit city, which is a big thing right now. You'll retain internet savvy residents and you'll draw internet savvy residents, both commercial and residential. Next steps, any additional discussions as necessary. We have a number of agreements presented to the city for approval, right-of-way, pole attachment, things like that. We'll do a citywide design once the agreements are all signed, review the design with city management, make sure everything meets approval, and then start construction. Our plans and pricing, basically, we think we have the most competitive offer out there for internet services, especially on fiber. We have 4 service plans. We do a 50 by 50 for $35 a month, a 250 by 250 for $50 a month, a 500 by 500 for $70, and a gig by gig, which is 1,000 meg for $85 a month. We have no modem lease fees. We have no fee for standard installations. A standard installation is that our fiber drop is within 350 feet of the access point, which typically all houses here probably are. We have no data caps, and there's no contract term. So this is gonna be a hard one to see, but I'll walk through some examples. So on the top are the 4 plans I talked about. On the bottom is a typical Comcast plans. So Comcast typically runs about 5 plans, starting at 100 meg, going to a gig. But you can see their 100 meg plan is only an up speed of 5 meg, and it starts at $40, but in the 3rd year it's already up to 86. And that's pretty typical for all their plans, is they have a yearly increase planned in. We have no increases planned in whatsoever. Actually, we've reduced our pricing twice now since 2018, as we're doing more construction and we're able to get economies of scale with our suppliers and materials. We've been lowering our price. On install, you may have a $70 install or self-install with Comcast. We have 0. Our modem, typically neither company's charging. Home Wi-Fi, on our 2 lowest plans, we can lease a router for $6 a month, or if you have 2 higher plans, it's just included. With Comcast, it's $14 a month. We have no term. Comcast is a 1 or 2 year term. Comcast also has a data cap at 1.2 terabit, which we have none, and so we also don't have any overage fees where Comcast has overage fees. So we believe that our product is superior in service and in price. Yes?
Plan 150M, that's
50 megs.
megabits per second?
Yes.
Okay, so, all right,
Yes.
it's not a cap.
No, that's just the speed. So that'd be 50 meg down and 50 meg up. And the way we can do that, one of the beauties of fiber is, everybody remembers back to their high school physics. If you take a prism and put a light through it, it separates the light, white light into colors. We can do that in fiber. We can actually have one color going into the house, let's say in red doing the download, another color of blue coming out of the house, basically, for the upload. So we can run multiple colors on that strand of glass. All right, and that's really where you can achieve tremendous speeds on fiber, is you can run 80, 120 colors in that strand of glass, each with its own data stream. And somebody, I've been asking, what am I gonna do with all that bandwidth? I don't have that now. And really the thing to think about is, look at your entertainment choices. You're paying a lot typically for video, and video just keeps going up in cost. With all the streaming services that are on the internet now, you can basically reduce your total cost of internet and entertainment that you have today, and reduce it a lot by streaming. And if you're not sure how to do that, basically on our website we have a streaming TV selection tool that will help you decide what programs that you like to watch and how to actually get them. And pricing. And that's on our surfbroadband.com website. And last, basically, is
Got a
building
question?
fiber is the future. Anyway, questions, yeah.
I just wanted to ask you, the reason I came to the meeting tonight was I'm fed up well over the top with Comcast. And I'm trying to find, is there any way of getting rid of their so-called package bundling and stuff like that? What will this mean in this issue? Is it just that they'll get their service quicker or what? What does it do if you're looking for change?
So for change, we think this is a superior product, right? This is only internet. We also do digital phone service, but we do not do video. So what we're recommending is that you look at doing very fast internet and actually streaming your video. And now with this much internet, you can have a Roku on every TV in the house and stream all your content. So personally, I stream every day. I'm using Netflix, which is about $10-12 a month. I have Prime Video, which I have free because I'm a Prime Video subscriber. I have HBO Max for $6 a month, $5 a month. I have Disney Plus for $6 a month. I have a lot of content, plus then there's all kinds of free streaming. Roku has a lot of free TV shows, about 500 shows for the channel guide. There's a lot of other services that are free. Or you can go with Hulu. Hulu, YouTube are both very similar to a cable company.
Right.
As far as what they have, but their pricing doesn't really increase, but maybe by $1 a year. Right, so there's a lot more choices on the internet, and that's what you use all this bandwidth for.
Thank you.
Other questions? Yes?
Do you have a fiber optic line close to Oglesby already, or?
So we are a partner with iFiber. So we do a lot of business with iFiber, and we have our bandwidth supply in Rochelle, Illinois, in the data center. And we connect.
That was my next question, I'm sorry to interrupt you. We had the mayor come down from Rochelle and give
Ah.
a presentation, and I just wondered if you guys were connected with them.
Yeah, so we're in the data center there. We connect to iFiber's network there, and then we can travel through their network. We can pop out any place that we want. So we'll pop out here in Oglesby, and we'll basically supply our bandwidth from Rochelle here over their network, and then we'll build out the town.
Yeah, he said all their big companies up around Rochelle now, like they're all connected to it, and how much faster it is.
Yeah, it's fiber is a world. Fiber is very similar to when electricity was introduced, right? I mean, my mom grew up on a farm without electricity. She didn't have it until she moved to town. And fiber is run in the same way, where electricity was a new thing. Not everybody had it. The government got involved, pushed out, let's say, funding to get it pushed out around the country. If you had electricity, there wasn't many devices. You maybe had a refrigerator. Actually, the government had a program to actually help people get refrigerators. And then inventions started. Somebody invented the ceiling fan. Somebody they kept inventing stuff, the can opener. Same things happen on the internet. You see now there's smart doorbells, smart garage doors opener, smart Roomba vacuums. There's a smart oven. There's a smart refrigerator. You're seeing everything that's all coming through, connected to the internet. So you see sort of the same kind of deployment. And you see the government looking to pump out all kinds of funding to really push it around the country.
I searched your name on the internet and found, do you have locations in Mendota?
Not an office. Our 2 offices in Illinois.
We have customers in.
Oh,
Mendota.
yeah, and our fixed wireless. So we've had fixed wireless out in this area for a lot of years. So we have a lot of fixed wireless customers in Mendota. Mendota right now is one of our build cities that we've approved and agreed with Mendota. We're moving forward and design is being done. We'll build out all of Mendota in fiber.
What is fixed wireless?
So fixed wireless is basically where we can broadcast a signal like to your cell phone, right? My cell phone's not there. To your cell phone, and we broadcast off of structures like water towers, and we can broadcast internet service to a fixed location like a house. We have a receiving antenna.
Okay.
So cell phones are mobile wireless. Fixed wireless is where it's going to a fixed point versus a mobile point. So we've been doing that for many years, focused on rural areas.
So, is that a possibility that you're gonna put like 5G or 10G
So
transponders on certain poles around the neighborhood, around the city that reach into somebody's home, or is
Yes,
it?
that's a possibility, but, there's technical issues with 5G, right? For us to put it on poles, it really is only gonna go about 300 feet. We're gonna be running at such a high frequency to get the bandwidth, so to get to a gig of bandwidth, you need to be running at an extremely high frequency, there's a very short distance. So it's a good place for 5G for a company like ours is in a downtown concrete jungle. Very hard for us to do boring, and there's no aerial, so 5G would be good on light poles, but we'd have to have one on like every corner, because we're only gonna go 300 feet. So a town like Oglesby, we'd rather run through both either aerial or underground, and just bring a fiber directly into each resident.
Will you bring the same fiber down from Rochelle and then run it underneath the 39 bridge, or?
So, so that's part of the design, is basically I-fiber is in town now. We would just do a drop off of I-fiber on this side of 39, right? And then just expand out from there. So we'll put a head end in that basically where that drop will originate for us here in town, and then add routers and every equipment we need to actually manage the internet.
We'll see.
Uh, uh,
Go ahead, Tom.
all right. Yeah, my question to you is, do you have a build-out timeline of when you'd have this built out?
No, so, build-out timeline's gonna depend a lot on the design. So we're looking to do Oglesby in both aerial and underground, and that'll be going through areas that you already have that are all underground. We'll do underground to match that. Areas that are aerial, we'll look to do aerial, and then we need to work with you, with the city, basically on that design. And if we're gonna go aerial, we have to do a pole study. And that pole study is usually done either by an independent company or the city, and basically figuring out what lines have to move. There's certain design guidelines on running wires on poles, and we gotta make sure that matches. Some poles may need to be replaced. Using aerial is actually very hard to pick a timeline, because we don't know how many poles need replaced, we don't know how much movement there needs to be. So basically, we'd be looking to start the design and all that activity this year. But my guess is it could take all the way to next year before we start, based on how much work we have to do on the poles.
So,
And,
to
and
pick,
so that means the city would be replacing said poles that you don't like, kind of thing, or how? does that
No,
work?
it's not what we like. It's a pole study determines how much load a pole can handle. And if a pole is very old, it can't handle as much load. So the pole study gets done, that SURF would pay for it on the pole study, regardless of who does it. And then if you determine like which poles need to get replaced, SURF would pay for the replacement of those poles. So all of the costs get bore on us, both the study and the replacement of poles. And there's also a possibility that any existing telephone or cable lines on the poles may have to move if they're not in the regulated space. So every company that's on a pole has a regulated space they're supposed to be within. So it all has to be below the electric. So let's say the cable company has the first slot below the electric. They have 12 inches of space there that they're supposed to use. Over time, there could have been some repairs, and instead of being in that 12 inches, they jumped down to the third spot. Well, now that wire's got to be moved. So all that has to be figured out in the study, and that's what is really hard to determine a timeline.
I do have some good news for you, Caesar. I didn't know that was part of your study. The city did have a study on every one of its poles done about a year and a half ago.
Oh.
So it has all the thickness, we have all the poles rated for which ones needs to be replaced, which one doesn't.
great.
I can share all that with you,
Okay,
which is good.
Yeah, and that will speed things up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think one of the big questions is, we had this on the agenda before about approving, and I understand that we wanted to come to an agreement on whatever the pole attachment fees were, the processing and all that stuff before we come there. But I think a big question would be, when do you think the earliest we might be able to see when that master build-out plan is? When do you think that?
We're building in so many cities, our internal resources can't handle it. So we've been hiring an outside design firm to do it. And so basically it's putting it on their schedule. We have them doing a number of designs for us. I would imagine we'd probably see a design by mid-year.
Okay.
And so I have one more, just kind of just happened. So poor performance, what can the city do? Are we locked in for 10 years? What does that contract tell us on our end? So if you're not doing well or something, what does it take for us to get out of it? Or how long are we locked in once we approve these contracts?
Yeah, in the contract's pretty involved, and there's a number of clauses in there for outs for both companies.
I think we married all of them up together, correct me if I'm wrong, Attorney,
With a 10-year
Te-
term.
it's a 10-year.
5-year renewals.
and then 5-year renewals from that point on, I
There's
believe.
non-performance clauses in there and things like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is all before we approve the master build-out plan. I am curious to know when we'll get, hopefully by mid-year, we'll have something that we can talk about and go from there. But, okay. Anybody else have any other questions?
That cable that you brought, is that the size cable that will be up running on the poles?
It's right there.
Yeah, it's roughly this size, basically. Aerial cable's a little different than underground, but it's basically like this.
Okay, the next question would be, if there's a storm, is it hard to repair that?
So there's both aerial and underground have pros and cons. So underground is much more expensive to put in the ground. However, it hardly ever gets damaged. But when it does get damaged, now it's a major repair. Aerial is a lot cheaper to go with, but it gets damaged more often, but the repair time is really quick, right? So if there was a major break on a major backbone fiber cable that has 144 or 288 fibers in it, it could take 3 days to repair it. Long repair time, but it hardly ever happens. On an aerial, if you're running basically similar cable, basically it's all above ground, much easier to have that repaired in a day. Right, so there's sort of trade-offs between the two. We prefer to go underground, it's just that it's getting very, very expensive. So we're very eager to work with Oglesby, who own their own utility poles, to actually have more of a streamlined process of working with the city to get it done. When we work on another city and its poles are owned by a third company, a telephone company, or electric company, it's not in their interest to cooperate whatsoever. So we pay them to do the study, and they do it under sweet 50 time, right? And then we get a report, and we're like, okay, we gotta replace 100 poles. They have to replace it, and again, it goes in on when they feel like doing it. So one of the issues with aerial, it takes a long time to get the job done, and we can't forecast it. Or when we do underground, we can sort of, it's our own construction crews, and we can forecast that easier. But now you're just paying 50% more, right? So it's
I have a question.
Mhm.
If we have whether it's a broken cable underground or in the air, where does that crew come from to repair it?
it's gonna come from us, either, direct one of our employees or contractors that we're using. Yeah, we're responsible to repair the damage.
Okay, but he isn't gonna come from Dallas, Texas.
No, it's probably, Indiana or Illinois.
Mendota, the system we have running in Mendota right now, where there's a transceiver every football field.
Well, no, it's in Mendota, it's not 5G, it's basically much slower than that.
It's slower than.
Oh, yeah, much slower.
Okay.
Yeah, 5G is relatively new, it'll run about a gig. The fixed wireless systems out there now will do 10 meg to 25 meg to 50 meg max. And it's fixed wireless is great, but it really has a lot of obstacles. So to get a wireless signal to pass through a tree, you actually lose speed. So you'll get your fastest speed, let's say 25 meg or 50 meg, if you're a direct line of sight, you can see the tower, but as soon as you start trying to shoot through stuff, it drops the speed down terribly. And that's where, back in 2010, we had everything upgraded that we could deliver 10 meg to customers. And we thought that was it, we never have to upgrade again. 10 meg should be more than anyone ever needs. And then video came out. Right, and you saw from my one slide, it's just people are sucking up 6 meg continually watching movies. So as soon as one kid starts a Netflix movie, everybody else in the house suffers. So that's sort of the problem. So that's why we're basically replacing or overbuilding our own fixed wireless communities with fiber. This fixed wireless just can't keep up with the demand.
Well, I thank you for the presentation.
Hopefully that was fast enough for you, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Really appreciate it.
Careful down.
Yeah, I don't want to get us going on that.
Yeah.
Thanks.
That was my, That's our legal name is Surf Air Wireless. Probably just Surf Broadband Solutions, we're using it pretty standard.
Okay, next on the agenda is approved pole attachment fee agreement between Surf Air Wireless and the city of Oglesby.
And, Attorney, just like I said last time, because they're all the same, can I just do a motion to do all the next four at the same time?
You could.
Anybody have a question or concern about that? Okay. I'd like to make a motion to approve the pole attachment fee agreement, the right-of-way agreement, the water tower license and broadband fiber agreement, and the understanding of cooperation agreement by and between the City of Oglesby and Surf Air Wireless LLC.
Second.
Augubright,
Aye.
Cullinan,
Aye.
Curran,
Aye.
Udis,
Abstain.
Rivera,
Aye. Next one is place on file ordinance 1188-030722, purchase of real estate for the city of Oglesby.
This is this is one of the there's two lots that are near the wastewater treatment plant. One of them we already own. The second one is kind of around it, and I believe about a tenth of the garage of the previous house is still on this other bigger lot. So that's when this one is. Anybody have any questions or concerns about that? In that case, I'll make a motion to place on file ordinance 1188-030722, purchase of real estate for the city of Oglesby.
Second.
Augubright,
Aye.
Cullinan,
Aye.
Curran,
Aye.
Udis,
Abstain.
Rivera.
Aye. Next is place on file ordinance 1189-030722, net metering policy.
So
And I advised Jason today that you could actually vote on this because it doesn't include one of those categories that you have to have an ordinance on file for a week before a meeting. So I don't know that you're prepared to do that, Jason, but you could vote on this net metering policy tonight.
I don't have an issue with that. Briefly, what this is the state came out with some rules and requirements of what we have to allow for people to hook up solar and things like that. We already had a solar net metering policy. What this is essentially different, there's a couple things it does. It changes it really from a net metering policy to a net billing policy. The difference is we only pay the residents that have solar hooked up to what the costs are for the wholesale portion of whatever that electric would be. Basically, it's just whatever our cost would be that we would miss out on. So it is going to be paying them a little bit less. Part of the agreement, we are going to be looking to grandfather. There's three residents inside the city that have authorization under the old net metering policy. We were going to grandfather them for a period of up to 10 years. That is more than enough time for them to recoup their costs that they put in for their net metering and their solar. Is that pretty accurate? Or do I have any-
It removes the limits too. So your old net
True.
metering policy had a limit, and under the new CEJA law that was adopted by the legislature last year, it removed your ability to place a limit on the amount of self-generation one of your customers could have.
Cor-
So that really was the driving force behind you having to change this policy.
Correct. It used to say 2% of our max
Right.
load capacity, which would, would still mean we'd need like another 36 people wanting to join. But the difference was the state law is we can no longer limit
Put
that.
that limit on. the new law does allow you to limit a customer's self-generation to their average usage over a period of a year. So it doesn't allow somebody to go out and cover their whole yard with solar panels to generate more electricity than they need. This new net metering policy does incorporate that. It says no, it's gotta be the average of their usage over the year.
All right. Anybody have any questions on that or concerns about approving it directly? With that, I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 1189-030722 net metering policy.
Second.
Augubright,
Aye.
Cullinan,
Aye.
Curran,
Aye.
Udis,
Abstain.
Rivera.
Aye. The next three are proclamations. Can we do these all at once too, or?
You can now?
I will entertain a motion and second to proclaim May as the Motorcycle Awareness Month, proclaim April as Fair Housing Law Month, and proclaim April 7th, 2022 as Junior Achievement Day in Oglesby.
I'll make a motion to proclaim May as Motorcycle Awareness Month, April as Fair Housing Law Month, and April 7th, 2022 as Junior Achievement Day in Oglesby.
Second.
Augubright,
Aye.
Cullinan,
Aye.
Curran,
Aye.
Udis,
Aye.
Rivera.
Aye. Is there anything under old business? Having none, we'll move on. Public comments? Having none, we'll move on. Commissioner reports. I'm sorry. Augubright.
I have nothing to report tonight.
Cully.
I've got a couple things I like to send out here. The Tree and Stone program is now accepting applicants. The locations this year are the Canoe Landing and Lehigh Park. Please contact the park director at 815-883-8121 if you are interested in this program at all. The parks, excluding the Canoe Landing, are now open with all the swings and the playground back up. Please pick up after yourselves and keep our parks looking nice. The Canoe Landing will open up in a few weeks. There are ice jams and mud that will be cleaned up on the boat ramps, and once that's done, we will open up the road. LP baseball season is starting up at the Dickinson Field Complex. We are excited once again to be hosting them. And good luck to the Cavaliers. This past Saturday, Peru hosted the Illinois Valley BB Gun Championship. Oglesby defeated Peru by a score of 17-24 to 17-17. Congratulations to the kids on their great shooting. And that's all I've got.
Just a couple things. First thing, thanks to Caesar for putting out the presentation today. I appreciate all the residents that partook in the survey about fiber about a year ago or so. So hopefully it's something we can get going here soon and increase different economic opportunities that we have in the city. Other thing I got to put out is a tree came down blocking the road and dry bridge in the city, taking out some power lines and taking down the power. Electric and Street Department worked late into Saturday into the early hours of Sunday morning. They worked quickly and safely to minimize the impact of the city residents. I'd also like to thank the city of Peru for their manpower assistance. And a huge thank you to the fire department. At least half a dozen firefighters were there, which assisted with directing the scene and clearing the roadway. I thought I could use a chainsaw adequately, but after seeing these guys make short work of that tree, I have some skill sets that still needed. So really appreciate their help with everything.
Terry?
I don't have anything, Mayor.
I do have some things. Again, I would like to, Oglesby was successful on the BB gun shoot-off. I want to make sure we thank J.P. Rose and Bill Gandolfi for their work with the boys and girls of Oglesby, the city of Peru for hosting this year's events, and the parents for supporting this activity. Gun safety is number one, and these kids can shoot, especially the girls. our guys, the city crew, did a hell of a job restoring the service from the storm. Want to thank everybody for their hard work. The city of Oglesby and IVC have been meeting and are in a position to finalize 2 agreements. The city will make an offer to provide electric service to IVCC that would save the college over $500,000 in electric rate cost over a 5-year period. The IVCC board and the city of Oglesby board would have to approve the city of Oglesby proposal and request that Ameren agree that the city would be the electric service provider for IVCC. Today, IVCC buys their electricities from an Aries. That's an alternative retail electric service provider. Ameren charges a fee for delivery, maintenance of electric lines, metering, and etc. In order to serve IVCC, the city would increase its delivery of electricity to the city, thus increasing its toll charges to Ameren. In 1993, when IVCC annexed into the city, they agreed that the city of Oglesby would be the electric service provider for at least 5 years. That did not happen. The city does provide water and wastewater to the college. The city also provides police, fire, and ambulance service to the college. Well, putting this proposal together, the city discovered that Ameren had not been collecting the city utility tax on electricity that it provides the college for 29 years. Oglesby is not the first city that this has occurred. Ameren has collected the city utility tax on the gas from the college and has forwarded that to the city. 2, the city of Oglesby and IVC have been working to provide a full-time police resource officer at the college. We are in a position to finalize this agreement. This is a positive step for IVCC, the city of Oglesby, and the Illinois Valley area. As everyone is aware, the city of Oglesby has been working on a second feed to improve reliability. The city paid Ameren for the study and that there was no increase in load for at least 5 years. No cost increase. At the 11th hour, Ameren notified us that they forgot. They erred in that there would be an additional cost for the second feed. The city would be charged an additional $225,000 to $400,000 for the second feed per year. It is my understanding there is no other municipality in the state of Illinois that is charged for a second 34.5 or 69 kV feed. When asked to see a copy of the justification of these charges and how such charges were approved, Ameren's response was, there was none. They are being developed. The city of Oglesby is working to get IVCC to switch service providers. I find it to be consequential that because the city of Oglesby is trying to save the college dollars, the taxpayers of the Illinois Valley dollars, and note to Ameren that they have failed to forward the city's electric tax to the city for 29 years, that now Oglesby was singled out and required to pay this fee. Raises some questions. I would say what I believe is happening and why Ameren is taking this position, but I will leave it to you. At the 11th hour, the people you are dealing with make radical changes without reason, justification, nor logic. You be the judge. What kind of ethics are we dealing with? Friday, March 11th, is the last day to submit essays for the IME scholarships. There are 4 1,000 scholarships for Oglesby seniors. Oglesby Community Blood Drive. The Dickinson House is March 24th, 1 to 6 p.m. And I have one more. Bootsy Unum has again donated to the food pantry. $1,500 to support your continued efforts for the individuals and families of our region to particularly achieve the consequences due to the COVID-19 outbreak. And I believe that's it. Thank you all for coming. I'll entertain a motion and a second to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Augubright,
Aye.
Cullinan,
Aye.
Curran,
Aye.
Udis. Rivara.
Aye.
All right, Tommy, thank you.
All right, see ya.
Go in.
Wanted to serve my community, give a little back. I'm in a position now where I'm not working for the city I reside in. I'd be able to
George.
take a position like yours.